Okay, so first thing first, I would like to update you guys apa yang dah ada perubahan sikit dalam kelas ni. So kita punya lab 2 kita tukar ke week 8. I think dah di-announce dalam Telegram, but I would like to inform you again that our lab 2 is switched to week 8. Okay, due to because last week pun ada kelas yang ada batch yang tak ada kelas. Okay, so siapa yang fall on public holiday pun tak ada kelas juga. And this week pun Wesak Day is on Wednesday. So that's why it's quite hard to to be fair to everyone, we have decided to switch your lab 2, to move your lab 2 to week 8. So that means it is after the semester break. Okay, so that's the update. And then project, kita dah release project design and also the project itself. So kita dah release semua assessment for this course. And after kita punya mid-sem break, assignment is due in week 9. So that's ada lagi masa banyak lagi lah untuk buat assignment. But you have to start doing your project design and start your project straight away, because even though project design due in week 13, tetapi your project presentation is due in week 14, 13 dan 14. Okay, so project present, since this course kita tak ada exam, okay, kita tak ada exam. I will be away, kalau ikutnya saya tak ada on 26 to 30th June ni saya tidak ada. Okay, you still have to submit your project, but we will do the presentation after gawai. Okay, presentation kita after gawai, meaning week 15. Saya akan schedule dan saya akan minta you all buat booking untuk presentation. Okay, it's either, I think it will be face-to-face presentation and it will be in campus. Okay, so kita akan buat dalam week 15. Unless you want to do it in week 13, tapi saya rasa semua tak nak kan, sebab sebab due dia pun in week 14. Okay, so we'll do the presentation on week 15. Okay, itu untuk grup saya sajalah. Untuk grup lain semua akan buat on week 14. Okay, so grup saya CS dengan NC akan buat presentation after gawai. Okay, saya akan buat pengumuman nanti. So watch out dalam e-lib lah untuk you booking presentation slots which is face to face. So siapa tak datang presentation slots face to face, saya akan bagi kosong sebab kita tak ada exam for this course, we don't have exam. So memang wajib semua datang untuk presentation. Kalau you tak datang untuk presentation dengan alasan yang kukuh, that is fine. You have maksudnya you sakit ke, itu tak apa. Tapi kalau you memang sengaja tak datang, then memang kosong lah your part. Your group member yang hadir akan dapat markah. Okay, so jelas semua tentang project dan juga what's going on for the remaining tak banyak lagi weeks dia. Kita ada lagi 5-6 minggu lagi tinggal Okay. So cepat je masa berlalu. Okay, so let us go and see untuk minggu ni I will do lecture on object oriented design, OO design. It is actually to design a class. Okay, so lecture notes dah available. Kan, ada kan lecture notes? Saya dah make it available. Let me just open up the lecture notes. Okay, saya akan share the lecture notes screen. Semua nampak lecture notes punya screen? Okay, semua nampak Okay, so the title today is Object-Oriented Design. So what we're going to focus is actually macam mana nak design methods dan juga method overloading. Okay, so that's the only two things. Sebab kita dah belajar macam mana kita nak design class. So now is only about method and method overloading, and this concept is a lot kita guna bila kita buat GUI design and layout manager. Okay. So dalam method design, okay, so bila kita nak design sesuatu method ataupun is actually the functions of a class, kita kena identify mana primary class dan what is the object of the class. And also you have to know what is the responsibility of the class. Ini kita dah bincang, dah tahu kan last 2 weeks punya lecture. So each class is designed with certain responsibility, certain functions yang dia boleh buat. Okay, so after establishing a high-level design issue, it is important to address the low-level issues such as the design of a key methods dia yang penting, okay, dan juga some other methods yang you all kena carefully plan to make it look elegant and also efficient. Kalau you punya method tu tak design efficiently, your program will be slow. Okay, so apa itu how do you design a method is you have to look at what is the functions ataupun needs of your program, of your class, and then you have to design an algorithm which is actually a step-by-step process. Okay, so it is actually solving a problem. Okay, so example, kalau you ada problem buat recipe ataupun travel directions, kalau buat apps untuk travel kan, then you have a travel direction, so maybe you have destinations, you have time durations, itu contoh-contoh dia. But in your project, apa you kena buat tentang finance kan, finance. So you have to think, that's why you have to brainstorm. Okay, satu lagi saya nak ingatkan you all, saya rasa saya dah beritahu awal semester hari tu, tapi saya nak ingatkan lagi sekali, setiap kali bila buat group meeting, then your WhatsApp group untuk project, mesti diletakkan di dalam report you. Bukti you all bekerja sama dalam kumpulan mesti diletakkan di dalam report. Okay, saya percaya you all buat, tetapi audit nak tengok ada dalam report. Mesti ada. Sebab bila audit, it is based on bukti. So you kena bukti kata you memang ada buat group discussions and you have to screenshot, let's say for example this class, kita kena screenshot, and also kalau you ada WhatsApp group, you have to screenshot some conversations yang ada dalam group tu. Okay, so every method implements an algorithm that determines how the method accomplish its goal. Okay, so every method ni dia sepatutnya buat task kecil-kecil. So you have to design it properly so that it will do all these tasks. Saya rasa dalam projek you pun kita dah bagi tahu dah apa nak kena buat. So it's up to you how to design. That's why the project design is important. It's how you design your methods and your classes. Okay, so an algorithm may be expressed of pseudocode and a mixture of code statements and English that communicates step by step like. Okay, so satu method ni sepatutnya dia kecil je. Dia buat satu fungsi yang kecil and it could be understood as a single entity. So maksudnya function dia straightforward dan kita nampak apa yang dia buat setiap function yang ada tu. So then maksudnya for example calculate this. So dia buat dekat dalam tu sahaja. Okay, so the potential large method should be decomposed. Kalau you all ada function yang besar ataupun perkara yang perlu dilakukan yang terlalu macam is a complex task, you kena pecahkan kepada beberapa task dan satu task yang kecil itu dijadikan method. Okay, so a public service method of an object may call one or more private support method. Kalau you ingat dulu kita dah saya dah bagi tahu you all tentang satu method yang call method lain. So that is called a service method or a support method. Okay, that might call other support methods if appropriate. So let's look at an example that requires method decomposition. Okay, translating English into Pig Latin. Okay, so Pig Latin is a language in which each word is modified by modifying initial sound of a word by adding AI. Okay, A kat belakang, AY ni kat belakang. Ataupun for example, that begins with a vowel, kalau that word begin with a vowel, dia akan replace it dengan ye sound. Okay, so this is an example how to change it. So macam for example, book, dia akan jadi be. Okay, so this is example of a Pig Latin word. Jangan tanya saya kenapa bagi contoh ni. Saya tak tahulah kenapa our program kena bagi contoh ni. So it's okay. So it is dia adalah dia ada beberapa function whereby you kena tukar the first word, the first letter to the end and then add a kat belakang ni. See? So you have to break down the situation into several small tasks and then you write the method. Kalau dia B, kalau ataupun T, dia tak akan add kat belakang AY tu. Kalau dia item, dia just add Y je kat belakang. Maksudnya vowels means A, E, I, O, U tu kan. Dia just add Y kat belakang. Dia tak tukar the first word, the first letter dia tak bawa ke belakang. So this is called Pig Latin. So this is Pig Latin. Okay, so the primary objective is translating a sentence is too complicated for one method. Okay, kalau you nak buat semua benda tu dalam satu method, it will be very complex. So we look for natural ways to decompose the solution. Translating a sentence can be decomposed into a process of translating each word. Kalau dalam contoh tu, kalau dalam situation ni kita nak buat dalam satu sentence. Okay, kalau satu sentence tu banyak words kan. Kalau you nak buat dalam satu method saja, it will be a very big method. So that's why you have to decompose, pecahkan apa yang diperlukan oleh yang kita nak buat tu kepada beberapa steps, which is actually one step in one method. Okay, so the process of translating a word can be separated into translated words, which is first, whether the words begins with a vowel, ataupun whether it begins with a consonant, ataupun it is a single consonant. Consonant, ataupun it is a single consonant. So these are the things that you need to look at. Okay, so and then you write, boleh lukis UML diagram yang represent that function ataupun the how to solve the problem. So this is all that you need requirements dalam you punya project. It's a part of your project requirements to write the UML diagram where that is a part of your project design. Okay, nanti project design tu, whatever UML diagram yang you lukis tu, you have to translate it into your project code. So waktu presentation, saya akan tanya you, which part of this UML diagram correspond to which part of your program. Okay. So for example here, Pig Latin is the main class. Okay, they are the main function and it will call a Pig Latin translator class. Okay, which by dia ada public translate method, dia ada private translate word, private vowel and private blend. Okay, kalau how do I know whether it's public or private, ni ada plus and minus sign dekat depan ni. And then dia ada type of input and output return dia. So apa yang dia terima dan apa yang dia keluarkan, return value of that method. Okay, so of course you nak dapatkan input, you kena ada utility scanner. Okay, and then the Pig Latin class translator. And then public static string translate string sentence. And then dia kata dia ambil results and then dia tukarkan semua string tu kepada lower case. Okay, and then dia scan lagi sekali, dia scan the scanner. Okay, and then kalau ada lagi the next word, dia akan scan lagi dan last kali dia akan return results. So the following function is dia akan translate each word. Dia akan check whether dia adalah vowel ataupun tidak. So the first thing is string results. If it begins with a vowel, dia akan masukkan word di dalam tu. Dia akan kata result is equal to word plus y. Kalau tidak, dia akan substitute the first string, okay, dan dia akan tukar kepada string dia akan substitute this the string tu, dia akan letak a kat belakang. So that's what it is doing. And then dia ada dia ada function untuk check whether it is a vowel or not. String vowels dia A, E, I, O, U. Kalau dia adalah kalau it is a vowel, then return a vowel. Kalau tidak, dia akan tengok if it is a blend, a consonant. Ni start dengan BL lah, BR and whatsoever. If you see, question tu mudah je, tapi bila you break down into methods, there's a lot of things to do. Okay, so that's what you need to have and brainstorm as a group. Nampak mudah, tetapi the steps by step is not semudah itu, because you have to ask the computer to think step by step. Komputer tu dia tak dapat, the algorithm ataupun the computer algorithm ni dia tak dapat think by step. You all yang kena design. Okay, and the last one is dia punya main class. So main class dia akan dapatkan string tu, okay, new scanner, and then dia akan do. Okay, so do, dia akan ambil semua words tu, and then while dia dia ada ignore case. Maksudnya kalau user masukkan while, maksudnya dia dah habis. Translate another sentence, while maksudnya while it is yes, it will always do the dia akan buat semua program yang statements dalam do while loop ni. Do while loop. Okay, sehingga dia jumpa end. Okay, bila end, dia takkan ulang lagi lah. Okay, so that's what the program is doing. So you tengok tadi, it's not a long program, but it is broken into several methods. That means not only one big method. Okay, so objects as parameter. One important issue related to method design is how you pass your parameters. Okay, so parameter in Java, methods are passed by value. So a copy of an actual parameter is stored in a formal parameter. Okay, so kalau you ingat balik, formal parameter adalah parameter ataupun variables yang ada di dalam method head. Okay, you declare method kan, you ada macam string name, string first name, second name, whatsoever. Itu adalah formal method. So the actual value that is passed through the method is disimpan ke dalam formal method. Kalau you ingat balik lah, kalau tak ingat, you kena ulang balik apa sebenarnya formal method tu. You tengok balik our previous lecture. Okay, therefore passing parameters is similar to assignment statement. Betul? Maksudnya bila you pass parameter ke dalam method ni, dia sama juga dengan assigning value to that parameter ataupun to that variable. Okay, so because kalau ingat balik, bila parameter tu adalah formal parameter kepada method, you do not need to declare that parameter ataupun that variable inside the method. You boleh guna straight away. Maksudnya dia dah created and it is assigned. Okay, so what methods what a method does with a parameter may or may not have a permanent effect. Apa yang dia buat di dalam method tu, dia mungkin tak ada permanent effect kepada keseluruhan objek ataupun keseluruhan kelas, sebab if the variable is only in that method, dia hanyalah local variable. Whatever yang di pass out, that means dia return value, that will be used later kat dalam program ataupun dalam method lain. Okay, so that's what you need to know when you do methods. This is another example. Okay, num Java is to represent a single integer as an object. Okay, so private integer value sets up the new number object storing an initial value. Okay, so this private integer value, this variable is only available in class num. Dia tak available dekat kelas lain. Okay, so public num integer update value equal to update. You know why? This one here, this is using a set and get method. This is actually concept dia adalah di mana you tak boleh change the variable tu dekat tempat lain. Dia hanya boleh di change di dalam kelas ini saja. Okay, so dia set value and also set and get value. Okay, and then of course bila dia nak return, dia kena convert it to string. So dia akan kata return value plus whatever yang kosong lah, plus an empty space. Okay, so this is what it is doing. Return value. Value ni yang ni tadi. and also an empty string. Okay, so this is another example parameter modifier. Okay, so dia akan demonstrate the effects of changing parameter values. 6 tadi kan? Okay, so 6 tadi kalau you tengok, kalau you cuba buat example ni, okay, so this is what you input F1, F2 and F3. Lepas tu you outputkan dia. Okay, and then dia kata F1 is equal to 999, F2 set value 888 and F3 is new num, is creating a new object. So you tengok dia punya output dia. Oh, ini another one. Ni before calling change value, this is it. A1, A2, A3. Before changing it, it is the same. After changing it, then it will be different. Okay, and then after calling the change value, dia akan call balik A3 ni and A2 balik. This is a different bila you guna dia, it is actually demonstrating how the variables are stored in the methods. Boleh cubalah. I think it's better if you go back after this, you buat program tu, you run the program and you try to input the values, you change the values. Itu je cara untuk you all faham the concept and how it is working. Sebab kalau baca macam ni saja, memang you takkan faham. I think semua orang sekarang tengah blur. Betul tak? Yes, memang blur. Sebab this is an abstract concept. Concept yang I think you have to go back, copy this program, copy, run it. You run it and then you change the value. You tengok apa effect dia. Then you relate balik dengan teori dia. Teori dia is actually numbers yang dipass melalui method, sebab dia adalah private kepada kelas tersebut. It might not be, it is not the same. Okay, atau dan satu lagi, bila you create another object out of it, their value dia pun akan different because you pass in a new value when you create the object. Okay, so we move on to method overloading. Okay, apa itu method overloading? Method overloading is you have the same method name but different functions. Meaning, same method name ni, dia ada nama method dia sama, cuma mungkin dia add on something else lagi dalam method tu. Dia buat additional. Okay, so for example, you ada the signature of every, okay, ciri-ciri method overloading ni, kalau you remember, you create method, okay, method A, public A, and then you ada a string name, for example, so that is the first method. The second method, nama dia public A, dia punya signature dia ataupun kita panggil formal parameter dia, for example, string A and then string B. Dia mesti lain, dia tak boleh sama. So that's why it is called method overloading. Dia punya signature of the method overloaded must be unique, mesti berlainan, tetapi nama method dia sama. Sama juga kalau constructor overloading pun sama juga. Nama sama dengan kelas, tetapi parameter dia berbeza. Formal parameter dia berbeza. Okay, so the signature includes the number, signature dia apa dia, formal parameter dia, number of parameter, order dia kalau different pun dikira different signature, and then the type of parameter. So that is different. Apa yang menyebabkan kita kata signature dia different? Apabila number parameter dia berbeza, apabila order dia berbeza, turutan dia berbeza, dan juga the type of parameter. Maksudnya string, float ataupun lain-lain, dia adalah dikira method overloading. The compiler determines which method is being invoked by analyzing the parameter. Okay, how does the compiler know that you are calling which parameter? Dia tengok kepada value yang you masukkan tu. So that is how dia analyze parameter. So for example, float try me integer x. Okay, so that's the first method. You tengok, this is another method overloading. Okay, integer x. And then you have float y. Ini menepati ciri yang kedua di mana order dia berbeza dan juga type of parameter dia lainan, and number of parameter is different and the type of parameter is different. Faham So this is an example of method overloading. Why do you want to use method overloading? Because kadang-kadang you nak guna try me ni, you nak guna satu integer je. Okay? Another situation, try me ni you nak accept integer x, integer value and also float. That's why it is called method overloading. Okay, so this is concept object oriented. You like it or not, it is like that. Okay, concept object oriented ni memang macam tu, is called method overloading. Okay, so this is how you invoke result equal to try me 254.2. Dia akan panggil this one. Okay, you tengok value yang dia masukkan ni determine which method yang akan dipanggil, which method yang akan digunakan di dalam you punya program. Okay, so I think dalam assignment you memang ada method overloading. Memang ada. Okay. Kalau tak jelas dalam tu pun, tetapi we are looking for it. We are looking for all the ciri-ciri object oriented yang you akan guna untuk develop. Okay, so method overloading, print line method is overloaded. Satu lagi contoh method overloading yang ada, yang dah built in dalam Java ni, it is called the print line method lah yang you selalu guna tu. Dia boleh guna string, dia boleh guna integer, dia boleh guna double and so on. Okay, so that is one of the example of method overloading yang dah ada di dalam Java. Okay, the return type of the method is not part of a signature. Okay, kalau the overloading method, return type is not part of the signature. Overloaded method cannot differ only by the return type. Kalau return type you berlainan, is this still not memenuhi syarat method overloading? Because syarat method overloading tadi, the parameter tu berbeza ataupun nama dia formal parameter tu berbeza. That is called the signature. Okay, constructor also can be overloaded. Saya dah bagi tahu tadi. Okay, overloaded constructor provide multiple ways to initialize new objects. Kalau constructor overloaded, meaning you boleh create object tu dengan ciri-ciri yang berbeza. For example, ada satu objek ni you nak bagi dia nama sahaja. Lepas tu nanti you create satu lagi objek, you nak bagi nama dan umur. So that's why we have constructor overloading. Okay. Cuba tengok ni. Fill in the correct code with the method overloading program below. What do you think? Static integer plus method, apakah di sini? X ni dan apa di Y? Bagus Patrick, pandai. Betul. It is integer. Good. Thank you. I know that you understand. Okay? How does Patrick know it is integer? Because you tengok kat sini. Integer, you all nampak ke my mouse? Mouse saya you all nampak ke? Nampak? Okay, good. Integer my num plus method. Okay, ini plus method. 85, which is actually integer. That's how you know that it is integer. Okay, how about this one? Static double, apa dia dekat sini? What is here? Apakah yang di sini? Siapa boleh jawab selain daripada Patrick? Jom, bangun. No, tak nak Patrick, orang lain. Okay, Veronica, plus method. Betul, Veronica, plus method. You tengok kat sini. Why? Because this is... Oh, salah. Salah, bukan plus method. Sorry, it's not plus method. Salah. Macam mana nak patah balik? Eraser, salah. Not plus method. Orang lain? Sama je konsep macam tadi. Macam mana you determine it is integer? How do you determine the name of this method? Orang lain? Saya kejap tengok sekejap you all punya chat. Mana mouse ku hilang ni ha? Tak nak dia. Orang lain? Selain daripada Patrick, oh macam ni diorang dua ni je lah. Bangun, raya dah habis. Walaupun raya sebulan. Kozi, apa you rasa? Tak nak jawab boleh type.
Class better, I guess.
Sekejap, you all punya suara tak dengar pula. Suara you tak dengar. Why not is plus method? You tengok plus method tadi kan dah integer x dengan integer y. You tengok dekat sini. Ini dah method lain. Plus method is integer x, integer y. Of course, it's not plus method. Yeah, but then this one here is dia punya ni, tengok. Sorry. Betul. Sorry. Veronica. Betul. It's plus method. Sorry. It is method overloading. Nama dia adalah plus method. Saya pun salah tengok. Okay. Betul. Sekejap, mana saya punya ni Betul. Okay. Saya duk tengok my name sebenarnya. Tapi sebenarnya salah. Betul. Nama dia juga, the method name is plus method. Okay, method name dia adalah plus method, but it is referring to this statement. So betul, it is plus method. So nama dia adalah plus method, tetapi dia punya ni dekat sini. Okay, so this one apa yang kat depan ni? What would this one be? Apa yang dekat depan ni? Okay, double. Betul. So, depan ni adalah double sebab Allah. Habis pointer option ni. Because of this, this one is double. My name is a new object. Okay, so this one is also plus method because dia adalah method overloading. Betul. Saya duk tengok my name tu ni. Plus method. Okay. And then this one here apa? Apa kat sini? What is here? Plus method. Betul lah. And this one is corresponding to this. Okay. So that is the use of method overloading. So that you can pass value, different type of value, tetapi apa yang dia buat dekat sini adalah sama. Kan? Sama kan? Kalau you pass value, nak pass double kat sini juga, maksudnya 4 parameter, that is wrong sebab nanti you nak kena guna X and Y pula. So that's why we have method overloading. Okay, so I think semua orang faham dah method overloading and that is good. And this is another example without method overloading. Kalau without method overloading maksudnya setiap method ni ada nama yang berbeza. Tengok. Okay, method integer and method double. It's part of information hiding lah. Okay, so and also nak kata make the code shorter tak juga. Tetapi is more on how you for information hiding, how you do the codes. Okay, so that's why you do method. So this is the jawapan tadi, jawapan untuk you punya method overloading. Okay, testing ni is to find errors. Okay, so I think everyone, this should be straightforward on finding errors. And also, you can have a review. How to find errors is to do testing, to do review. You buat review, which is actually inspections and walkthrough. And you can also do test cases. Test cases ni dalam, you have some cases and you test them. And then test cases ni ada dua jenis, black box and white box testing. Then after that, dah itu je tentang test cases. I think dalam, kalau you buat IDE kan, IDE dia ada, there's a lot of testing, how you do test, block test and whatsoever. Kalau this is more theory, tak ada apalah, semua orang boleh ni. Okay, so GUI design. GUI, kalau kita nak buat GUI ni, of course we have to know the user, you have to present user error and optimize user abilities and be consistent. I think everyone knows about how to design a good graphical user interface. Okay, so when you know the user, that means you know what they need, what are the common activity, and what are the level of expertise. Okay, so remember the user, the interface is the program. Remember, to the user, interface is the program. Dia bukannya tahu kat belakang tu you all buat apa kan. Okay, so you have to prevent errors. So kalau user masukkan sesuatu yang salah, for example phone number masuk text, of course you have to tell the user that it is wrong. So that is part of the GUI, is communicating with the user. Okay, and then not so all the user are the same. So you have to be familiar with the type of your user, and you have to also know what kind of user you are dealing with. And I think kalau you baca your soalan project, you will know the type of user. Okay, so you have to be consistent. Color also have to be consistent. Layout have to be consistent. Text must be consistent. So everything is always consistent. So this is just an example, soalan. Kalau you nak guna input their gender, what type of interface that you will use? Apa you all akan guna? Cuba jawab. Radio button lagi? Selain daripada radio button, radio. Okay, good. It will be a radio button. Because checkbox dia allow two values, takkan dia nak boleh check dua-dua kan, unless you tak boleh, you disable one. So check value, checkbox dia punya nature dia, you can check both. Radio button you can only choose one or two. You can also use a drop down list, tapi normally sebab list dia pendek, better radio button lah. Okay, and then text field ni tak user friendly sebab dia kena type in. Kalau dia salah type, you pun susah proses, betul tak? Okay, so good. You will need to use radio button. So what we want to learn here is the layout manager. Okay, layout manager ni kalau you ingat balik, dia adalah berfungsi untuk menentukan bagaimana layout of your interface tadi. And then it's called a layout manager. So dalam layout manager Java ni kita ada beberapa jenis. So you have flow layout, you have border layout, and also cut layout, grid layout, back layout, and also a grid back layout. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ni bukan layout saja, dia sepatutnya grid back layout. And this layout are defined dalam AWT. So then you have box layout and overlay layout ni duduk di dalam swing. This is important for you to know. Okay, so layout manager. Tadi kepanasan, sekarang dah sejuk. Okay, so dalam layout manager, every container has a default layout manager. So setiap container, kalau you ingat balik apa yang saya terangkan dalam container tu, dia semua container dia ada default layout manager. So each layout manager has its own particular rules. Okay, some layout manager pay attention to the component and the preferred size and alignment, and the others do not. So depend dengan layout manager. So the layout manager attempts to adjust the layout as components are added as the container are resized. So layout manager yang you all guna ni, dia akan adjust layout tu according to the components, maksudnya button ke, text box ke, dan juga size container tersebut. Kalau you resize, dia akan automatically do adjustment. Okay, so those are different layout manager. However, you can choose to set the layout. Maksudnya tak menggunakan yang default. You can also choose the layout manager yang you nak guna. Okay, so how do you want to set your layout manager? Kita gunakan panel set layout, new border layout. So this is to set, kita set layout kepada panel kita. Kita nak guna border layout. Kita kata kita nak guna border layout. So this is an example of using a border layout. So ni adalah code untuk buat GUI interface. Okay, dia akan create dua labels which is swing J labels, dan dia akan masukkan ke dalam panel. Okay, flow layout ni maksudnya you boleh letak as many components you want in, then it will move on to the next row. So how it looks like is that kalau you letak 1, 2, 3, 4, dia akan just flow je accordingly. Okay, so bila you resize your window ni, bila you resize, let's say you resize jadi kecil kan, you resize jadi macam ni, dia akan jadi macam ni. You might become like this. Depends on the size of your window. So that is called a flow layout. Dia akan according to the flow. Okay. So you can try this. Dalam code you can try, and then you boleh tarik. You tarik your window tu, you tengok. Semua button you akan bergerak ikut sama. You tarik dia ke atas, dia you kecilkan, dia akan jadi panjang macam tu. So that is called a flow layout. This is flow. Border layout. Okay. Border layout ni, dia ada 5 kawasan. Okay. Dia ada 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. Okay. Dia ada north, east, south, west and center. Okay. Saya selalu kata never eat shredded wheat. Supaya ingat. Daripada kecil memang macam tu. Sebab selalu tak ingat north, east, west, south, west ni. Okay, so dalam border layout ni, you define komponen you mengikut kawasan. You nak letakkan dia di mana? Di north, east, south ataupun west. Okay, so dia akan atur you punya button ataupun komponen you according to the area. So how do you want to letak something dalam center? You just say B1. B1 is a component button 1. Border layout dot center, meaning you put it in the center. So that's how you use border layout, and this is your output. Right? So kalau you nak selalunya, kita tak letaklah satu-satu button dalam ni. Border layout is good if you want to use it for form. Another thing is that kalau saya dalam my button layout, saya akan letak lagi panel. For example, saya letak panel lagi dekat sini. For example, panel, and then saya akan letak labels. So I have labels dalam ni. Macam tu. And then saya akan letak sini mungkin satu lagi panel. Then saya akan letak text field. Faham? Meaning this one, dia boleh, panel kan boleh duduk dalam container. Dia boleh add lagi. And then you boleh set lagi layout dalam ni. Dalam ni, mungkin saya akan guna balik grid layout. Ataupun kalau saya guna flow layout, maybe not nice because when I resize this window, all of these things dia akan bergerak. Okay? So, GUI ni is something that you can use multiple panels in one type of layout. Okay, so grid layout ni dia akan specify the size, dia akan specify di mana you want to add the components, ni add to the container, and then you fill the grid from left to right, top to bottom by default. You can also do another one is you can put in the coordinates. Okay, so this is also grid panel. Dia akan atur dia dalam bentuk grid. Okay, ini senangnya soalan ni. Which of the following classes belong to AWT package? Mana satu yang AWT? Dah tengok dah tadi. Tak ingat, nanti tengok balik nota depan tadi. Okay, so the box layout organizes component horizontally in one row or vertically in one column. So dia akan atur macam ni ataupun dia atur vertically or horizontally. Okay, macam ni. Okay, so that's box layout. And then dia boleh letakkan dalam rigid areas and it will glue specific where excess space should go. So dia ada a bit, dia ada rigid area, meaning dia akan bagi space kat mana. Create rigid area dimension. So this is the additional of a layout box. See, meaning you boleh letak rigid area ni, dia akan control the space. Mana saya punya mouse hilang lagi. Okay, rigid area ni dia akan control the space of where your button is. So that is what box panel punya output. You boleh combine different layout. Okay. See? This one here, apa yang dia buat? Dia buat tab pane, intro pane, flow pane, border pane, grid panel, and also box panel. And every of these panels, dia akan define dia punya layout lah. Okay, so apa dia kata? Border. Okay, border ni, kalau you tengok your interface, selalu kalau you ada interface, dalam satu window kan, you ada border. Macam border yang sama-sama macam tu, this is called borders. You can put it in the layout ni, and it is a swing component. Okay, apa yang dia buat adalah dia untuk group components together. So you can put it here macam ni. So that is menggunakan border. Okay, so border dia ada beberapa jenis. Satu line border, another one is attached border. Yang ni namanya attached border yang nampak warna grey ni. Okay, you can also have a bevel border. Bevel border yang dua jenis pula. Dia ada raised and also lowered. Raised bevel dia naik ke atas, lowered dia turun ke bawah, ke dalam sikit. You can also put title to the border macam ni. Okay, you can also have a made border. So, how do you organize your user interface ni? Juga menggunakan border that will make your program much more appealing. Dia tak ada semua benda berterabur semua kan. So, when you have border, then your interface akan lebih teratur. So, this is an example to put a border and also the different kinds of panels in your program. Okay, so you boleh cuba dan you can also put it in a type of border layout. So tadi border layout tadi kan dia guna button kan. You can also put this in your border layout to organize information. Okay, so I think itu saja untuk lecture hari ini, which is a continuation of our lectures 2 weeks ago ataupun lecture last week yang if you go online, I think I dah cover kan. So yeah, this is lecture 2 weeks ago. Okay, so next week is our, what do you call it, midterm break. The week after you all ada class ke Monday? Monday you all ada class tak? Ada kan? So you all ada class lah. So meaning you all adalah group yang tak ada class last week sebab last week cuti raya. Okay, ada apa-apa soalan? Ada soalan? Tak ada soalan. Okay, siapa yang nak scan tadi boleh scan. Oh, saya tak share lagi skrinnya. Assignment, I think better buatlah bukti. Nanti kalau kemudian saya nak kena minta pula. Buat je lah bukti tu, senang. Sebab nanti assignment ke apa, you all kena buat peer evaluation. So, kalau buat peer evaluation, then of course memang kena ada bukti. Okay, buat je bukti tu, senang je. Okay, semua dah scan attendance. Ada seorang lagi yang belum scan. Kenapa Kevin? Okay je. Tak ada soalan? Okay, kalau tak ada soalan, then kita tangguh. And see you guys after midterm break. Bye. Thank you. Enjoy your cuti lagi. Saya dah habis lama dah raya. Saya dah masuk kerja last week lagi. Bye.